Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of yet another Star Trek podcast. I'm Majeed, and with us tonight, of course, is my good pal Drew, who is rocking the boxer look tonight. Boxer as in, like, not the... Boxer as in the athlete, not like, you know, person who makes boxes. Drew, how are you, buddy?
My wife calls this my summer outfit.
Yeah.
It's like the outfit that I wear when it's really hot outside and we don't have the air conditioning on, and you're kind of like doing yard work or just finishing up with yard work, and then you're like, oh shit, I need to go to Walmart, but I don't feel like getting changed.
Mm-hmm. There was an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Charlie became a boxer. I think it was a
Yes.
$100 Baby, and
Yeah.
your look reminds me of that.
Oh,
So-
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm also
And,
drinking.
Well, let's save that. And with us as well, of course, is our other good buddy, Brad, for the evening. Brad
Brad for the evening.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, buddy.
I want to start off with saying both of you guys are jerks for pointing out my little slip up when I do my intro. Totally not intentional, but you know what? I'll own it.
But
it's true.
To be
It's technically correct.
Which is the best kind of correct.
our good friend, big fan of the show, Frakes. he's the one that pointed it out. So thanks, Frakes.
Thank you.
He's gonna hear
Jerk.
this. He's gonna hear this. I'm like, who the hell is Franks?
Well, you know,
Like,
he's a good friend with our buddy Wayne.
Wayne, who always falls asleep.
Wayne.
Yeah.
I love Wayne.
Oh God.
Oh, Stella came to join us, guys.
Hi, Stella.
She'll be up on the desk in a second,
Aw.
ruining and causing chaos.
That's nice.
How are you guys?
I'm fabulous.
Why the hell did
for
you
asking.
guys take so long to respond to that? What?
Because I'm trying to be positive, and I'm like, I have nothing positive to say right now. I am so exhausted.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I am too. Working overnight sucks.
I mean, you chose this. This is what you wanted. No. We all said, Drew, maybe you don't.
That was never a part of this conversation. You guys were very encouraging about
Supportive.
me doing something difficult to make future Drew happy, which I am on board with, but I am very tired and not sleeping well. And tonight is the first night that I've been able to have alcohol in 7 days. And I am taking advantage of it. So I'm on my second glass of whiskey, and I've already had a beer. And, well, hopefully that doesn't destroy this episode.
So what you're saying is the overnight has turned you into an alcoholic?
But once a week.
Well, actually, no. You know what? I gotta. That's not nice. Alcoholics go to meetings. You're just a social drinker. You're drinking with friends.
Sure, we can go with that. I mean, here's the deal, right? I'm not going to drink before I drive to work, right? And I'm not going to drink at work. And I'm not going to drink at 7 o'clock in the morning when I come home from work, when I go to bed.
Why? I mean,
I
technically,
have to admit that when I was doing overnights, there were a few times when I cracked open a cold one around like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., because I was like, yep, that shift, screw it. I'm just going to have one.
The problem is I am so exhausted by the time I get in that I literally, I brush my teeth and I go to bed.
Oh, man, I wish I had that problem, because when I was working it took forever for me to wind down. I would get out around like 7:30.
Yeah.
Get home around maybe 8:30, would be hungry, want to eat, do something, play some games, and I probably want to go to bed until almost noon.
Yeah, see, I've been taking advantage of intermittent fasting hours. So
nice.
I've been stopping my eating at 1:30 in the morning, and it's easy for me to get a good 16-hour fast going into the next day for that.
Yeah.
So
16-8 is what I do too.
Yeah, I've been just kind of playing around with it. It hasn't been anything like official. I'm not like going crazy about it, but it seems to be happening pretty naturally. Like I woke up today, I wasn't hungry until like about 5 o'clock. You know,
Nice.
so
That's good.
you know, we'll see how it goes.
That's great, buddy. Yeah, I do the same thing. Well, not the exact same thing. I don't eat at 1 o'clock in the morning, but
Well, you're sleeping. I assume.
No.
Actually, no, you're not. You don't sleep.
I've been getting some sleep in, but I at least try to stay up for the new Wordle or new Framed at,
Oh,
at midnight.
There's
I've stopped.
there's a Trekkies.
What?
There's a
Wow.
Star Trek one.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
I'd be bad at that.
Yeah, I'm bad at it. You know how many? Like, there's 60 years of 5-letter alien names. Like, I'm screwed.
Ooh, sorry. My God, did I just yawn into the microphone?
I don't know, but that's a
You know what? It's fine.
that's
it's
a mark
fine.
for edit.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Keep it there.
Everybody's
It's fine.
yawning. We're all yawning.
Everybody's yawning. It's fine. It's I was supposed to be here, so everybody knows. We agreed to record at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
4:30.
Sunday.
4:30.
What did I say?
You said 4:30. We
What did I
agreed. We agreed at 7:30, not 4:30. You're 3 hours in the future. Now
No,
you're
earlier today. The original time was 4 o'clock, wasn't it? Or 4:30?
no. No.
No.
Why
was-
the hell was I thinking 4 o'clock in the
7
afternoon?
o'clock.
Was that because of last week?
We met at 4 o'clock last week,
Oh wow!
which you were also late for.
I had to listen. Sunday.
You've been taking
I
tips
thought-
from our buddy Wayne.
No, that's true. I did fall asleep on your couch on Brad's shoulder.
You did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brad says I smell nice, but wow, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why I thought we had to meet at 4 o'clock today, but I was up at that food festival, and I took pictures for you guys. There was garlic parmesan cheese balls and the buffalo chicken bites inside of a waffle cone for some reason, because you know why not?
Chicken and waffles.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Yeah. I just had to explain that to Franks.
Oh, my mind is blown. And then I had a chicken gyro. So I didn't have all that food. I just, I kind of just tried it a little bit.
Did you
But
bring some home for Kylo?
No, Kylo, listen, when I tell you I'm so upset, I wanted to bring him so bad. I wanted to be one of those guys that brings their dog to the dog park. And, the Facebook page said no dogs unless they're service dogs. And I said, fine, I'll leave Kylo at home. I get there and I count like 8 dogs.
Of course.
I was so upset.
So here's the thing, because it's like I didn't realize you were going to this thing because it was in my town actually. So the way my town works is they like to make rules that nobody follows. So somebody was like, "Meh, I don't like dogs," and then somebody else was like, "I can't read." And then you have dogs.
That was there was a meme there. I think it was like from the Arthur show, which was I would be scared, but I can't read, something like that.
Archer?
Arthur,
Or Arthur?
Arthur, like the kids show. It was like a meme of
Oh,
a little girl. She's like,
yeah,
I would follow the rules, but I can't read this, something like that. We'll have to get it.
Wow.
We have to get it on Twitter.
You see, like, I would not expect you to bring up Arthur.
It's a
Yeah.
meme. You're on Reddit. Like there are memes everywhere, bro.
I mean, isn't Arthur the clenched
Fist,
fist
yeah.
meme?
Yeah, he's the fisting
Yeah.
meme. Ooh, not fisting, but the
Oh, man, that's perfect. Perfect verbiage.
I'm gonna pivot into something
Fisting?
completely different. No,
oh, okay. You can't pivot into fisting.
well, I can pivot into sticking my hands into something else that's dirty.
Oh, buddy,
We planted our garden today
Nice.
did you fist the dirt?
furiously.
What
Okay.
What are you growing?
So we
Please say eggplants. Please say eggplants. That'll be the perfect.
We actually skipped the eggplants this year. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Pretty basic stuff for the main garden. It's your peppers, your tomatoes, jalapenos, yellow squash, zucchini, cucumbers, and then we have like an herb garden. We have a raised bed up near the deck, and last year we did herbs there. They went really well, so we decided to do it again. We got parsley. We have basil, dill, thyme, rosemary. What else was there?
These
cilantro.
are all plants, everybody, not people.
Yes, and actually, for the first time, we've planted strawberries.
Do strawberries actually grow up here in the Northeast?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they do. I behind my house, when I was growing up, there was a strawberry patch where you could go pick your own strawberries.
Ooh, that was so far long ago, Brad. I don't know if you're the authority on whether or not.
Such crazy climate change has affected the weather,
dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Dude.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude.
Yeah.
I feel like I broke both of you.
All right, I think that's enough of that, Drew. Yeah, no, Brad, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were into herbivorianism. What do they call people who grow stuff? Herbivores?
Gardeners.
That doesn't sound right.
You're walking into all these jokes, Majeed.
All right. Well, speaking of jokes, well, no, pivoting from jokes. What do we talk about the episode of Strange New Worlds?
I'm gonna edit that so it's a faster pace, right?
No, I would love if you edited to those music like strange dun dun new dun 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 worlds. All right. Anyway,
I feel like you do a lot of your editing in your head, Majeed, and like Drew is like expected to interpret it, read your mind.
My headcanon is totally, it's whacked. Right, my headcanon is whacked. Like I know what I want to do, I just don't have the skill to do it. So what I'll often do is explain in GIFs or memes or hand gestures what I'm looking to do, and it doesn't always, translate right with Drew. It's just Drew looking at me confused, like, okay, buddy, you're my friend and I love you, but don't do that. Don't offer to make edits like that.
It usually involves a lot of vulgarities too. Like, look at this mother.
So we're gonna bleep that out with one of those little communicator beeps.
Star Trek, yeah.
All right. So this week we watched episode 2, which is Children of the Comet. Which, did you guys know that this episode airs on Thursdays?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. I watched it as soon as I was able to. So Friday morning.
Yeah, I wish both of you or one of you would have told me. Really? I didn't know. I didn't know. No, I didn't know. And by the way, Paramount Plus was messing up. So every time I would get like the second commercial break, it would freeze. And when I get out of the app, go back in, I'm prompted with commercials. I had to fast forward.
Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Did I try unplugging Paramount Plus and plugging it back in? No, I did not. I did not.
I feel like the alcohol is really getting to Drew tonight.
All right, let's give Drew a second to compose himself. No, so I didn't try unplugging it, Brad. God.
No, I'm losing it. Jesus.
It's such a horrible concept. Walking into Paramount Plus data center, saying, "I got this."
Which server is it? I'll just unplug them all. Whatever.
Which is the Northeast. I got this, guys. I work for a different company, but I do this all the time.
Don't worry, I'm a professional.
Pseudo reboot.
All right.
No,
All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, when I finally got past the problem, I just fast forwarded, and then I had to kind of slowly back it up to the point where I was. And
To be I was gonna say the Paramount Plus app is really not good, man. I've had the same episode of Lower Decks in progress of being watched since season 1.
Oh, jeez.
have you tried finishing the episode?
More than once, yes.
Okay.
Won't go away.
Which episode?
I don't remember.
Gary Mitchell's an ant.
That's season 2.
I love that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I finally got past the problem, and then another commercial break came up, and the commercial break finished, and it took me back to the middle of the episode. And I'm like, wait a minute, they just said they were going to beam out of there. Why is the egg closed again? But that's me. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I just want to vent. That's my old man yelling at the cloud.
I appreciate you and the sacrifices that you have made.
Yeah. Later on today, I'm going to give you an opportunity to yell at the cloud too, Drew. I know how you. We'll give you a moment to yell at the cloud, and not the server cloud, but the actual clouds. Give you a minute. So, this week, the crew of the Enterprise is sent to Persephone system to survey a comet as it passes through. Through Spock's calculations, they learn that the comet is projected to impact a Class M planet and killing all life. The crew
Can I just interrupt you real quick?
Yes, love?
I appreciate how much you have adopted the sound of the captain's log when you read these.
You think
I don't know if you're realizing you're doing it or not, but you have absolutely just absorbed that monologue tone.
Really?
Yeah. It's taken us 10 weeks to get you to make your own captain's logs. That's way quicker.
See, now I'm going to mess up because you just pointed it out to me. You should have waited to the very end.
Damn it.
Now I'm going to stutter. The crew quickly devised a plan that would prevent this from happening. However, to enact it, they find that the comet has shields. So they try to attack the comet. The comet's like, nah. I guess in hindsight, they maybe should have scanned the thing that they were going to fire on before actually firing on it. But, plot reasons, right?
Yeah.
The plot has to move forward.
It's all convenience.
Yeah. After scanning the comet, the crew find a strange alien structure and decide to investigate it. Spock, Uhura, Singh, and Sam Kirk, or as Brad refers to as Jerk, and then it says here, pause for laughter.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It did say jerk, though. It did say jerk. With a G, I might add. A G.
So I think we need to explain the joke.
If we have to explain it, it's not funny, then
Yeah.
therefore it's going to be obsolete. But I think we're at that point where it's already ruined.
Oh. Anyway.
So technically, his first name is George.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm going to write the joke, I better freaking damn well explain it.
Hang on. So is that what it is? So it's George and Kirk?
George
amalgamized it?
Samuel Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
they
get it. That is funny. Give me the... Yeah.
So, I mean, we need to, because we don't want to keep just saying Kirk, because then therefore we'll be like, oh, is it like Captain Kirk or is it some other dude? Well, we call him Jerk.
I love you.
And we'll never hear this joke again.
It's all right. Some things are sent out to die. Just like the joke you just made.
And just like Sam Kirk.
God. I looked up his history today, by the way. We'll get into it later. I think Drew and I briefly talked about it, but I looked up his history and I have questions. But Spock...
I have comments.
Yeah. Spock, Uhura, Singh, and Girk
Jerk.
beam over to find out what the heck is going on. By the way, that's guys, Girk with a G, right? So G-I-R.
We already explained the joke.
I don't care. I want to make sure that this is known. I got you, Brett. While on this comet, while on this structure, they find an egg-like structure with alien writing on it. Girk? I'm sorry, Brad. I love you, buddy. I didn't see this one. So Sam Kirk gets zapped when he moves closer to investigate. Buddy, why was he touching it? Spock said, no, don't touch it. Thankfully, he wasn't wearing a red shirt. Otherwise, no more Kirk. So, I thought this was it for him, by the way, guys.
Well, so you
just to bring him in for like the zap and then done.
Right. I know in my heart of hearts, even before looking up Girk's fate, I knew that he was doomed. He doesn't exist I know he doesn't exist in the Kelvin universe. In every episode of TOS we've watched, he doesn't exist. But apparently, according to, was it Memory Alpha? Was it Drew or Trek Corp?
Memory Alpha.
Okay.
Well, there's an upcoming episode that he's in, and the character is just basically played by William Shatner with a mustache.
Yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. So,
it's so fucking...
I wanted to posit a theory to you guys based on the limited knowledge that we have of Strange New Worlds. I think that Sam Kirk is this show's Kenny from South Park.
Every episode, he almost dies.
Every episode, he almost dies. I believe there are no red shirts. There's just Sam Kirk. and that because they know his fate, they can f*** with him and kill him over and over again without actually killing him.
They keep actually bringing him back every single episode.
Yeah. My God, you killed Jerk. You bastards.
I really hope that, well, so we know, or Drew, you may want to cover your ears, but we know, people who have followed Trek news knows that season 2 introduces a new James T. Kirk actor. That's season 2.
Yes.
Well, my theory is that something happens to Sam, his brother, while on board the Enterprise that brings Kirk aboard. Whether that be him dying, him getting into a coma, him getting blasted up torpedo tubes, something is going to happen to him.
Right.
But we also know that there's no type of overarching story. So
I think there's like a subtle undertone, like of us developing like an understanding of Pike's fate and him learning to live with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's really living with it, but we can get more into that in a few.
Can you imagine, though, if you are Pike and you know your fate and this bastard keeps getting zapped but doesn't die over and over and over again?
I really hope they don't do that to Sam Kirk. Because, remember, they asked for Sam Kirk to come aboard. Like, they specifically sought him out, right? As what we learned in the first episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like there's, some sort of a history between him and Pike, like a friendship. It'd be like if Brad asked us to serve on his ship.
Which Brad?
I would totally probably do that.
Which Brad?
Brad Prime.
Okay, because I don't know if we're talking to Brad Prime, because in the camera I see Brad has red hair.
Captain Prime Brad.
Brad, you don't normally have red hair, do you?
No.
Why does your hair look red today?
My hair's brown.
I think it's just the reflection from your shirt.
I'm not sure if reflections work that way.
Because the way the webcams are stacked, you're above him, so it looks like your shirt is radiating down on his head.
All right, so if I wear a blue shirt next week,
well, then he'll be Andorian.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm keeping an eye on you, Brad. If that's what you want to call yourself. So, Sam Kirk almost dies. His heart stopped. Spock is able to bring him back to life. But when they try to beam out of there, they can't. There's a mysterious alien race that shows up called the Shepherds. By the way, they have a faster and more powerful ship than the Enterprise. Remember that. That comes in handy later. The Shepherds explain that the Comet is no comet at all, but a Emhanit. Oof, I am butchering this. Eminent? Emhanit?
Mahanit?
That's what I was saying. Mahanit. Mahanit? All right, so they're on it like
I'm
Mahanit.
pretty sure it's Mahanit, yeah.
So
Is this
on it
like Hakuna Matata or something?
Ooh, Kuna Mahanit. All right. Anyway, so it's some kind of god or creator thing that travels.
It's
Either
more.
gives-
It's more than a comet. Mahanit.
Trademark it. Copyright it.
Oh, this is
Oh man, Drew, you're killing it tonight.
this is what 2 glasses of scotch get you.
I don't. I think your wife may have just replaced that with brown water.
You're probably right.
Anyway, so this Mahanit is some sort of god or creator thing that travels and either gives life or takes life away. Like when Two-Face flips his coin before either killing someone or sparing them. Brad?
Not entirely the same, but I'll just roll with it.
Damn it, Brad. That's the demerit.
Whoa, first demerit in like 2 weeks.
That's the,
Is this
You're supposed to be on my side, man.
this is the first Demerit of Strange New Worlds?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I did get one last week.
It's a
Nice.
monument. Well, no, because you said I smelled good.
Was
so.
it the cuddling that really helped win you over last week, Majeed?
Yeah, I was also barely conscious. I couldn't afford to give you a demerit.
He was just using you for warmth.
All right, so
Just like my cat.
you did pet me a lot. Anyway, back in the Comet, after Spock fails at giving a pep talk, Uhura discovers the secrets of an alien object through the power of friendship. No, sorry, the power of singing. She somehow manages to get the device to shut down the shields, allowing for the Enterprise to beam them back. This, of course, pisses off the Shepherds. They don't love it because the Shepherds said, "Look, you invaded our Mahanit, and you can't leave. If you touch it, you die. If you beam them off, you die." Just like in Parks and Rec, Drew, right to jail.
To jail.
Right to jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Man, we are doing great.
Wasn't that like another movie? Did that? If you touch us, you die. Oh no, that was a skit from Robin Williams. That's what it was. No, it was this one of Robin Williams' stand-up. Ignore me.
The genie?
No. It was a skit. He did a I think it was like I don't remember one of his famous stand-ups. He did anything like that.
Let's drop it on Twitter for everybody to to enjoy with us.
I'll leave that to you.
So this, of course, pisses off the Shepherds, but never fear, Ortega's is a master pilot, and she pilots their way to the Comet, stopping the Shepherds from firing upon them. Pike bluffs his way out by saying that the ship is damaged and needs their help. Needs the Shepherds' help. The Shepherds tractor beam them, the Enterprise, back to safety. Meanwhile, Spock takes a shuttle to try and successfully guide the Comet away from the planet, having only some of the ice chunks break off using the heat shields. Afterwards, through data analysis from Uhura, we find out that the Comet predicted the exact size of the ice was going to break off, and knowing that they didn't actually want to attack or crash into this planet. Making us question if it's really known, if they know its own destiny, which makes Pike question his own destiny. But, to sum up the episode, Uhura is way too honest. Blue shirts are the new red, and Spock sucks at pep talks. And hold for applause.
I'm not editing in applause.
Yay!
Thank you, Brad. That's a demerit.
Wait, for me?
You wrote it in.
But I didn't. I didn't write applause in for it all.
You sure? Because nobody else knows.
Man, now you know what? I'm glad you're wearing a red shirt.
So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, guys. One thing that was interesting is I think Drew predicted it. Drew or Brad, I get you guys confused, but one of you said that you really hope to get some backstory or some information on Uhura, with this show.
So, So that was one of the things I'm really glad you brought that up, because the first thing that was most apparent is that this episode really followed Uhura primarily as like the main focal point of the storytelling, which I really enjoyed. Like I'm glad it wasn't like how they do in some of the other series where you just stick with the captain and you keep going with the captain. Don't get me wrong, I really like Pike, but getting the more backstory of Uhura and how she is, to me, it's something that I really enjoyed.
The way they did this reminded me of the way that they would tell a story on Next Generation or Deep Space Nine in like season 6 or 7 when they were starting to run out of ideas. And I mean that as a compliment, that they went to use her point of view quicker than they would have, because those shows primarily did stick with the captain and kind of stay with his point of view or her point of view throughout the entire run, and it would only bring in the other characters as the main focal point periodically. Like you would still have a story about like Geordi or Data, but it was still told through the eyes of Captain Picard, right? Whereas this very much was through the eyes of Uhura the entire time. So that's an excellent observation, Brad. And you know, now that you mention it, like, it was fun. It was fun to see.
I'm hoping that they kind of continue this with each episode, where they kind of focus on a specific crew member. Like I really hope for like Nurse Chapel. I hope for Ortega's, and some of these others, or even like number one. I would love to see just continued story from the crew to get a better feel for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I don't like Ortega's.
Really?
Yeah.
She reminds me so much of the woman from Aliens.
Ripley?
No, not Ripley. The other one who's like the badass who like is gonna kill every single freaking alien.
Ripley.
No.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Ripley.
No.
Not Sigourney Weaver.
Correct. There's more than one woman in Aliens.
No.
Yeah.
I never.
This is the second movie.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Private Vasquez.
Who played that character?
Jeanette Goldstein. She was
No
also
idea.
in Terminator 2. She was the stepmom.
Oh.
Or not the stepmom, the foster mom who immediately dies in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't she die off screen in Terminator 2?
Your parents are already dead.
I'm not sure if
Sorry,
that's the
Majeed.
alcohol talking, but that was a really good Schwarzenegger impression.
Thank you.
Can you do that the entire podcast?
No.
All right. Well, I tried. So this backstory for Uhura, is that new?
As far as I'm aware of.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they've established where she's from in later episodes. To kind of like roll it back a little bit, Uhura or Nichelle Nichols almost left the original series, and she stuck around at the request of Dr. Martin Luther King because of what her role represented. As you guys have commented on, she really hasn't had much to work with that we've seen thus far in the original series.
Yeah.
So her character, hasn't been much more than just filler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Background, or just I hate to say it, but a check mark in the diversity box, right?
Yeah.
So the actress had expressed interest in leaving the show because of that. She stuck around and ultimately became an icon. And I don't know how much they go into her story throughout the original series. We'll find that out together. But they do kind of touch base on it a little bit further in some of the movies, but never enough. The show has always it's largely about Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, and the others are just kind of there to sprinkle in some color. No pun intended.
Sure, because that was good pun.
But I think that's like the truth, really, is because most of those characters are just supporting cast members. I feel with Strange New Worlds, It Uhura is definitely much more of a prominent role in this show compared to the original series.
Yeah, I feel like she probably has already gotten more dialogue than Nichelle Nichols had in even some of the movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it only took 2 episodes to do it.
Right.
Hey, when do when do food replicators become a thing in the Star Trek universe?
I'm pretty sure they're already a thing in the original series.
So, stick with me on this. There's a captain's dinner. Pike is cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So, is Pike asking the food replicator for the materials to make the food that he's gonna cook? Like, hey, like replicator, give me carrots, potatoes, onions, and
Cooking-
a dead cow.
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
So cooking in Star Trek universe is at a certain point more of like a hobby, so that people do it because they enjoy the process of making your own, making the food. But you're right as far as the replicator produce me carrots, produce raw chicken, and so forth. And like if you think about, well, you may not really think about it too much, but like me and Drew would probably see it from like Deep Space Nine, where it's Cisco's father owned a restaurant on Earth, and like he hated replicators. And like he would make everything like from like the fresh produce that was actually caught and stuff like that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So,
He would try to source actual food rather than replicated food whenever possible. And then there's even like a Next Generation episode that I remember where Riker has everybody over in his quarters to make them scrambled eggs, and he's like so excited about these eggs that he went out of his way to get, and they end up being this huge disappointment, and nobody likes them except for Worf.
Yeah.
In this episode, is Riker wearing a silk robe?
Probably.
It's a 50-50 shot, for being honest.
Yeah, Riker just seems like the kind of guy that if you get invited over to his house, he's gonna wear like short shorts and a silk robe.
Let me just put it this way: Riker is always putting the moves on.
I can see Riker totally rocking a kimono.
Yep.
True, if I remember correctly. Remember how Riker used to put his leg up on like everything?
Yeah.
Apparently the reason why it is Frakes actually has I think he has a back issue.
There's no N. It's Frakes.
Frakes, sorry.
God,
Not to be confused with our friend Franks.
If you could see the rage and fire behind Drew's eyes.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I misspelled it, I was like, oh boy, there's the nerd.
Yeah. Frakes.
Anyways, Frakes.
Give him a demerit, Drew.
You have a demerit.
Yes.
He had apparently a back issue.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I never heard that. He's like 7 feet tall, right?
He's a tall dude. I don't know how tall he is, but
He's 6.5, I think, maybe.
yeah, he's a big dude. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the Riker maneuver.
No.
Have you seen?
We've seen the Ortega maneuver though.
There's a whole supercut. We were way off course. There's a whole supercut of Riker sitting in chairs, and he never sits in the chair normally. Like he always steps over it.
Link
and
me.
and sometimes he even steps over backwards to get out of it.
Link it to me.
I will. It's amazing.
Send it to me.
It's a wonderful thing.
But back to Strange New Worlds, which, by the way, I'm loving it. My family's loving it, actually.
Oh, good.
Oh, are both your wife and daughter watching?
So my wife, she came to watch it, and she's like, "So who is this guy?" I'm like, "Well, that's his Pike. That's Zaddy Pike." And she's like, "Zaddy?" I'm like, "Shut up! I can't explain this to you right now." And
Probably should just not explain it as in Zaddy Pike. Just call him Pike.
well, she doesn't know what Zaddy is anyway, so I'll have to at some point fall on my sword and explain that. But I had to give her the brief explanation and say who he is, and she's like, "Okay, well, by the way, the character of Spock, it's so iconic. Even my wife knows who Spock is."
Yeah,
Spock
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Spock's a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who is playing Spock. The ears, the eyebrows, the posture, the demeanor. If you're doing it right, like Ethan Peck is doing it right. That's his name, right? Ethan Peck with the pecs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that's kind of the reason why they included him, because he's such from everyday people who don't, they're not huge Star Trek nerds. They can recognize Spock because I'm sure every Vulcan to them is, oh, that's Spock. Whereas like any nerd, we could probably easily recognize Pike because, it's Pike from Discovery.
There's certain
we can get it from the original series too.
There's certain characters that just transcend
Yoda,
the genre, right? So for even a franchise, right? So for the franchise, for Star Trek, you have Kirk, probably, right? Everybody knows Kirk. Everybody knows Spock. Maybe less, you don't know Picard to some point. They know who Patrick Stewart is because everybody loves Patrick Stewart. For Star Wars, you're going to know Luke. You're going to know Darth Vader, obviously. There's just these certain characters that transcend and just they stick out so much. So I think that's why she knows him. But it was one of those wow kind of moments for me.
And your daughter's enjoying it?
I think she was up there because her phone had to be charged. My wife was interested, and she's like, well, there's something different about this Pike, this captain. I said, it's because he's what's the word for? She used the word swag, like he has a swagger about him. But I'm like, oh yeah, he has charm, like he's a charming guy. She's like, no, it's not the charm, it's the swagger. It's the way he just takes command and he kind of he is comfortable.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Pike is comfortable, right? He doesn't like when somebody says swagger, it comes across as if it's an intentional front. Mm-hmm. But with Pike, I think it's just how he is. It's just his natural charm, Yeah. He's a guy that genuinely cares about his crew and wants to get to know him better, wants to get to know them better. Mm-hmm. And it just, he's so good at it that it comes across as just magnetic, Yeah.
He is absolutely electric on screen as the captain. That's not me again. That's not me being weird calling him Zanny, but when he opened the door for Ortega's and for Uhura, it felt genuine.
Yeah.
When he asked, Uhura, where you want to be in 10 years, and he just kind of, he got PTSD. He he thought of his own future again. I'm like, oh man, this guy's haunted. Like I care about the character because he's just doing such a good job of it. He's selling me on it. And he's a big reason why this show works for me. He's a 100%. Big part of that cog.
Well, I mean, when Discovery Season 2 was airing, people were drawn to him in much the same way that, like, there was the reason Strange New Worlds exists is because people were clamoring for a show with Pike as the captain.
Yeah.
This came about as, very much a groundswell of support for Anson Mount and his portrayal of this character.
Which is great because he was, I think his last thing that he did was Black Bolt in Inhumans, and that show was garbage. Didn't even last one season.
How long did when did Hell on Wheels end? I think that was after Black Bolt. I'd have to look into it, but I haven't seen that show, but I mean that was multiple seasons. I hear it was great in it.
Hell on Wheels was from 2011 to 2016.
Okay. When did Black Bolt air?
Humans. This is where you edit in hold music. 2017.
No, so just a year later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God, that show was garbage.
And then Disco Season 2 was probably 2019, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I don't feel like looking it up.
So like they're with regardless of the feelings I have for Discovery, there's some really good memorable characters that have come out from that show.
Which one? for
Discovery.
Oh,
There's been some. Oh, which characters? Obviously Pike. Was it Lorca?
Lorca was great.
Lorca, yeah.
Jason Isaacs
Lorca,
is good in
yeah.
everything though.
Was phenomenal. Then there's Giorgio. What's the Emperor from the Mirror Universe?
Oh, Giorgio, Emperor.
Giorgio.
Michelle, yeah.
Philippa.
Yeah. She's phenomenal. I love the actress and I love the character. But there's actually even within the main cast, like Stamets, I absolutely love him and Hugh. Like their relationship is wonderful. That's actually to be fully honest, that is the reason why I keep watching that show. Is because I just love those two dudes. Those guys are freaking awesome.
There's a lot of reasons to enjoy Discovery, but they're always the side pieces of the episodes. You know,
It's
to me the weak links are kind of. I could do a whole episode on what I
think with the things that we like though, to your point, is they tend to be those minor background details.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel the Strange New Worlds kind of has a reversal. Not even a reversal. It's just like the main things I'm enjoying so far. But with this episode though, Drew, one thing I kind of wanted to bring up to you, and I apologize, Majeed, for excluding you because you're not really gonna know this one, but this episode kind of gave me the vibe of that TNG episode where you have like multiple different aliens all trying to find this archaeological thing where it's like this previous thing, and then they come across this planet and they land, and then they scan this object, putting like their DNA codes, and then this alien species appears, and it's saying like, oh, we've been seeding the galaxy, like, you know, trying to increase life because there was no life when they were exploring.
Yeah.
And this episode kind of gave me that vibe, and I was kind of hoping that they would have like some sort of like throwback to this, being like, oh, this is how that species did it. But I of course was sadly, I don't think I got that little thing there.
I'm totally okay with them not taking that route. We don't need to do that every week. You know,
No.
I get what you're saying. I think there's enough Easter eggs in the show already with Sam Kirk and Nurse Chapel and the Doctor, Mbega, was it? Or, I know I'm
Mbega. That's right, Mbega.
And whatever happens with Lon Noonien Singh, because you know that's going somewhere. You know, there's enough little seedlings sprinkled throughout the show to satiate that, I think, without becoming too overbearing. I'm okay with having this story stand on its own, but it did feel, to your point, very much like a traditional Star Trek show, you know, original series or Next Generation, where they encounter a problem, the problem evolves, and they use deductive reasoning and, you know, TV science to figure it out and come up with a solution. And yeah, there's a little bit of religion thrown in there. There's a little bit of fate, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it kind of all comes together. And you know, the show wraps up with a question mark in a way where it makes you think. And that's basically what Star Trek does. You know, they grab a little bit of all these different elements, kind of put them in a blender, and when it's done well, like this was, you get something that makes you kind of think. You know, was this destined to happen? Or was the interference that Spock caused to split the Comet in half, you know, always, you know, was that written in stone before it even happened, you know?
It makes you question the episode. And I think that's one of the things that I've missed in a lot of the Star Trek series as of late.
Yeah.
You know, having the full episodic series is fun, but this is a change.
And it's a welcome one. I mean, look, I love episodic TV. Some of my favorite shows are, I'm sorry, not episodic. I love the serialized nature of TV, right? Some of my favorite shows, Breaking Bad, Ozark, Better Call Saul, Deep Space Nine, if we want to go down the Trek road, you know, to some extent. When you have a great show with great writing and great characters a serialized nature of a program can work really well. The problem that I've found, in my opinion, is that in the recent Star Trek series, there has been so much turnover in the writer's room and in the showrunner's room that the direction of these shows is constantly pivoting. Season 1 and Season 2 of Picard have completely different showrunners. Every season of Discovery has a different showrunner. Sometimes in the middle of a season, it'll change. So you have somebody that's establishing a direction, and then they're changing it. And then, okay, it's like having a CEO of a company who starts this path of revolutionizing the work culture, and then they leave for a better job or they get fired for something. Somebody new comes in and they got to put their stamp on. And now that goes on for 6 months to a year, and it happens again. You know, we've been through that in our previous companies, right? Where somebody new steps up to the plate and changes everything that the previous person has done. I mean, the shows are just being set up for failure. But you can get away with that if you have something that's not serialized, like Strange New Worlds is. And, you know, I'm under the impression it's the same showrunner for the entire season, but even if it does change next season, it's probably not going to make that big of a deal.
Yeah. I agree, and I'm hoping it doesn't change. I think Pike is probably one of the biggest attractors for me. However, I don't know what it is about the actress who plays Nurse Chapel, but like for some reason, like her quirkiness really appeals to me, and I'm interested to learn more about her character.
I wasn't crazy about her at first, but I am on board.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I thought she was a little too quirky. I didn't get that vibe from Majel in the original series, but you know, I could see it as like, you know, just a younger woman trying to figure herself out, and then, you know, she becomes a little bit more level-headed later on.
Fair enough.
What do you think, Majeed?
Yeah, man, I totally agree with all of you. God, Drew, listen, I was gonna give you time to go into your like Drew's corner, where it's basically
when Drew rants.
Right. Well, I wasn't gonna call it a rant, but I was gonna call it Drew's corner, and I was gonna ask that you edit in some, you know, like neighborhood friendly Mr. Rogers kind of theme, and it's basically you with a wool sweater on, talking about how the good old days of Star Trek were,
or a sleeveless T-shirt.
Yeah. Well. You know, we can't win them all.
Look, I to be perfectly clear, right? I am on board with new Star Trek. I want there to be new Star Trek. It does not have to be old. It just has to be good. I don't think that's too much to ask.
You know, we keep somehow pivoting to not somehow, we talk about Star Trek, right? And we pivot to Picard recently a lot. But we've also, you know, we've talked about how the show has ups and downs. This is the first I learned about it being different showrunners because, again, I'm still partway through the first episode, but I digress. I just learned today that this show, Picard, it wasn't even supposed to exist. It's a what if concept. They were going to have this one short of Picard, and it was going to be something about a younger Picard played by a different actor. And Alex Kurtzman said something along the lines of, well, what if we could get John Picard or what's his name, Patrick Stewart back for a series? And that's how the Picard show came about. It was just a what if. So
I never actually heard anything like that.
Yeah.
I did know Patrick Stewart was very hesitant in returning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I was looking up, you know, while we were talking, I was looking up information on the Section 31 TV show that Michelle Yeoh was supposed to be a part of. And according to sci-fi.com, Sci-Fi Wire, you know, this was supposed to be a what if show for Picard.
Isn't Section 31 still going on?
Apparently, but it's nowhere on Michelle Yeoh's IMDb page.
Well, that's because they haven't filmed anything yet. It's still
supposed to be announced. You know, like if it was still something, it'd be on her page as announced.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, she's in the next 5 or 6 20 Avatar movies.
Well, I thought that was already been filmed for the most part.
The Avatar movies?
Yeah, I thought that was almost all completed. And
Well, yeah, I mean, but she's in those though. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember hearing that like a while ago.
Yeah, and to pivot even more, so we can just piss off Brad and how much we pivot. She's apparently really good in Everything All Where at Once, or whatever.
I really want to see that. Like that looks so good.
Yeah. But yeah,
You didn't piss me off, by the way.
Oh, well, you still get a demerit. Anyway,
What the freak, man? I didn't do anything this time. All I did was post a picture in our group chat of Mr. Drew being conspiratorial.
What?
Mr. Drew. Mr. Drew is my dad. Call me Drew.
I work with somebody that refers to everybody as Mister. It's an experience.
No,
that happened to me when I was back in my last employer. One of my agents would always call me Mr. Brad, and I was like, you don't have to call me that. He's like, okay, Mr. Brad.
What a jerk.
You're not gonna stop, are you?
What a jerk. Did you fire him?
No.
You should have fired him.
I've given him nothing but like raving reviews, man.
You should start giving them demerits.
Hey, so we've often talked about my headcanon and how I picture things play out. Like I've talked about how, Kirk is a mass murderer, or how Kirk is on trial for killing all the red shirts. That's why the captain's log plays every episode. So I added to the headcanon today while watching this episode.
Oh no.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. So I think Kirk, James T. Kirk, hates alien races working on his ship. Let me explain. So while Pike, on his iteration of the Enterprise, has alien species working on his ship, people that, are obviously clearly of an alien species, Kirk has none. Kirk all has humans, or people that look like him on the ship. And
Except for Spock, right? Yeah.
Except for Spock, but Spock is half human. Spock is the exception. But Kirk fired all of the non-human species from his ship when he took over as captain.
I'm pretty certain there's a technical reason, and then there's like a Star Trek reason. I think the Starfleet reason is that there's more humans out of other alien races. And I think that's a big driving factor as to why most people are humans. And then from the technical reasons, I'm pretty sure they had really low budgets and couldn't afford to have a lot of different aliens.
Yeah, I mean, you have to consider how many worlds are in the Federation early on in the show, right? But yeah, a big part of it is just strictly dollars and cents.
Right, and then the third reason is Majeed's headcanon.
Right. Well, yeah.
Because
we'll go with that.
Kirk is a sociopath.
Yeah.
By the way, the Alpha Core. God.
Memory Alpha.
Memory Alpha Core. It has
no. Trek Core is a separate site.
So
the rage is strong.
So according to Memory Alpha,
thank you.
The article about Kirk's brother. The picture they showed was him dead.
Yeah.
And he has a mustache, of course, which is, canon. Mustache is canon. It's played by William Shatner.
Yeah.
Did you see how he died?
No.
I don't want to know yet. I don't want to know yet because we haven't gotten to that episode.
What? Oh, come on.
You're doing spoilers, man.
But it's just a history. I mean, listen, they're not going to care. Like, they're not going to care.
The listeners may care.
That's fair. Anyway, he dies in my mind by a dumb reason. Okay,
does he die by like a boulder thrown at him from a Gorn?
He's not Gary Mitchell. He's not an ant.
He's not a god, man.
No, there's a very dumb reason he dies in my mind, and and all I can do is just think back to Sam Kirk touching the egg when Spock is like, no. Like, Spock should let him die.
Yeah.
Spock should let him die, but you know that's a Majeed rant for a different night. I did love the episode. Again, you know, just the whole interaction between the cast is electric. I'm not the biggest fan of Ortega's. She hasn't won me over yet. She's too brash. She's too ow, sorry, my back cracked. She's I don't know. She hasn't won me over yet, so we'll see.
Well, there's time. You know, it's only the second episode.
Yeah.
I don't think we've really gotten much exposure of her.
We haven't.
I mean, to me, the biggest extent of this episode was her playing a practical joke on Uhura, and then being like, "I've got a few special moves that are gonna get me out of this situation."
By the way, she was the ace pilot. Man, those maneuvers were kick-ass.
Oh yeah.
So, fun fact, you know, people of her rank don't usually have their own maneuvers. That's why Pike was kind of like commenting, like, "Oh, you have your own maneuvers."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's usually like Picard Gamma 5 or Pike Delta 1-3 or you know what, something like that. So
Well,
it was funny.
Couldn't she have like programmed it into the ship, so the ship would be able to know?
Probably.
Yeah, so that's probably what would have had to have happened. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of, you know, clearance is required. I don't know I don't know how those maneuvers are executed. If they're
That's
like
technically true.
Is it a hotkey? You know, or is she playing like Control Alt and like O for Ortega's?
It's like Guitar Hero. You have to match up the notes with the controls.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm loving the show. It's holding up well for me.
So you guys want to break it down and give it a ranking?
Unless there was something else of this episode that I missed that you guys want to talk about.
How'd you feel about the music being the thing? Like
when it kind of first popped in, it kind of was like that's a little meh. But then they explained, you know, music is, you know, backed by math and all that. That made more sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was a unique take on the situation, so I can respect the decision to it, but I was just very meh about it.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, the music kind of ties into what I know so far about Uhura. Like, she likes to sing. Right. She was singing in Naked Time. Oh no, Charlie X. She was singing.
No, Mantrap.
Mantrap? Was it Mantrap?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Mantrap. Oh, no, you're right. It was Charlie X.
It was Charlie X. Oh, I know more than Drew. Drew gets a demerit.
Yeah, no, I feel like she did sing in Mantrap, too, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the sake of me being right versus you being wrong, she did not sing Mantrap.
I'll let you have it. It's fine.
Yeah, demerit, baby.
How's that a demerit? You were right.
I was right. You were wrong. That's why you get a demerit.
No, I could just be wrong without getting a demerit.
Not in my world. I hold the demerits. I tell you who gets the demerit. You get the demerit. But you still have less demerits than Brad.
Well, I guess there's at least that. Thank you.
It's not that hard.
Brad, stop it. You get another demerit. You don't. I don't need you to back me up.
See, I keep getting them.
I'm gonna look and see here. I gotta look into this. All right, go on.
About demerits? There's no written rules about demerits.
Yeah, there's a Memory Alpha article about it.
About demerits?
Yeah.
I didn't put that there. But no, let's totally get into the ratings. I'll start with Brad for the evening. Drew, what do you think?
You know, I like this. Jerk. I really like this episode. I like this episode more than after talking about it with you guys, more than I did when I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. I don't think it was as good as the pilot, but I think that this is a nice groove that the show can settle into. I found it a very enjoyable episode. It is something that I would like to watch again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe I'll save that rewatch for the, you know, when the show is over or, you know, the season is over. But overall, like, definitely an enjoyable experience. I like the chemistry with the crew. I like the fact that they weren't shy about focusing on a character other than Pike. I like the fact that we have our own Kenny in the show. I think that's a big plus. And
with
I'm
the
looking forward
mustache.
with the mustache. Yeah, Kenny with the mustache. I think I think I'm going to land on an 8 for this one.
Okay. All right. Other Brad, what do you think?
You're still a jerk. So going to what you were saying, Drew, like I think I had a very similar experience. Watching the episode, there were a few moments where it just kind of was like, okay, that's a little cheesy. I think the not scanning the asteroid apparently before they fire, and then all of a sudden it has like shields. So like, well, that's unexpected. I mean, I kind of feel like that would be something that they would have like found in the initial scans. The singing portion did kind of give me like, oh, what a coincidence, because she starts off the episode with like making some sort of humming, and it kind of led into the solution of the situation, and it was kind of like, coincidence. Overall, though, I did find the episode very enjoyable. To one of the things I think I've taken up from you, Drew, is that if this were to come on while I'm channel surfing, would I stay on it? And I'm near certain 100% I would. I can't echo you enough. It's not necessarily as good as the last episode, I feel, but I did enjoy it a great deal. So I'm actually at an 8.
Wow. I love that my on the sofa watching Star Trek rating has become like the de facto for this show.
Yeah.
I think the problem is though that sets the bar really high for the show, and anytime we get to like a bad episode, I wonder how like we'll grade it. Like, will we actually be grading it like the original series, where we're grading some of the bad episodes like closer to the 4 or 5 mark even, or would we kind of give it a more lenient and our bad episodes will be at 6 or 7?
Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to find out when we get there.
I mean, again,
keep tuning in, folks, and we will find out that answer at the end.
Well, I mean, we're also comparing this new school Star Trek to old school Star Trek. Now,
Very
I think
true.
the real test would be if we compare it to Discovery.
Well, I mean,
no comment.
There's going to be different answers for different seasons of Discovery.
Yeah, but also, I mean, they're built as 2 different shows.
Yes.
One's more episodic versus the other one being over serialized.
Yeah, I mean, you can grade them into like an island of their own. Like, you don't need to compare them to each other. It's hard not to, but I mean, it's possible.
Totally. So I'm loving the show overall. As I think I start texting you guys, midpoint of the episode. I'm like, oh my god, yay! But Pike, Anson Mount as Pike is great. He's electric. He's charismatic. He has the swagger. He's cool under pressure. It was also nice that he wasn't the one that beamed down to the Comet, which was also kind of a breath of fresh air. That he just kind of stayed up there.
Right.
Again, and by the way, that when he is leading over, I think he was talking to number 1. He says, "I love this job. I love stuff like that." Just it's him being playful in the moments. I think another example of that was last week when he kind of beamed down to the World Council during the negotiations. He's like, "Hi." Just playfully like that, and I love seeing stuff like that. It's not something that we've seen from captains before.
Yeah.
He has a good relationship with number 1, which I think is also pretty cool. That's Rebecca Romijn, who is married to Jerry O'Connell, who is also in Star Trek as what's his name?
Captain Commander Ransom, Jack Ransom.
Jack Ransom, right? They've worked together a lot, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, in the DC movie animated universe. He played Superman. Jerry O'Connell played Superman.
Okay.
While Rebecca Romijn played Lois.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. That's neat.
Well, she was also in one of the X-Men films, wasn't she?
She was in 3 of them.
The 4 of them.
Okay.
4? Was it 4 of them?
First class, I'm pretty sure she was.
What character?
Oh, she played. She was
Mystique.
Mystique. She was in blue paint.
Oh.
So she had a cameo in First Class.
Yep.
She was an older version of Mystique in First Class.
Nice.
which was a nice tongue-in-cheek moment. But I don't think she turned all blue though. So overall, I give this episode an 8 as well.
We are grouped very tightly.
All right, so I'm gonna go 8.5 then.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
Majeed, you're not falling in the ranks,
No,
sir.
I'm leaving it as an 8. No, I'm leaving it as an 8. You only increased it to be difficult.
I did. Any thoughts, guys, on the episode that we may have not covered?
No, but what are we watching next week?
Ghost of Lyric. Ghost of Lyric. Ghost of Jason's Lyric.
Illyria? Illyria? Is that it?
I mean, I have no idea.
All right, I'm just gonna say Ghost of Tsushima.
Sure.
We're watching Ghost of Tsushima. Sure. I can't even say that properly. We're watching To Be Determined next week for episode 3.
Something about a ghost.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll say it during the episode. It's one of those.
Of course.
It's one of those things like they said the name of the episode in the episode.
Drew, good luck on figuring out how it's pronounced.
It's not.
Oh yeah,
true.
this is my week. Yeah.
Oh my God, is it? I can't wait to ask you. And just have you doubt yourself.
Illyria. Ghost of Illyria.
I mean, who cares? It's our podcast.
What's the episode about, Majeed?
You suck. You suck. Oh God, you suck.
I even gave you a link. It's in.
You're right. You did give me a link, and Brad, you didn't give me a link. You did not give me a link.
I did.
No, you didn't.
It's right in the chat room. It's in the freaking chat room.
You sure? I'm on air. Listen, you're like, use Airtable.
It's there.
You're like, use Airtable. Use Airtable.
To be fair, it's in both places.
It's not. It's not an Airtable. Oh wait, no. Technically, no. I see it.
Oh my God.
I see it.
You're the worst.
All right. So, Uno must confront a secret she's been hiding with a contagion that ravages the ship, incapacitating the rest of the crew. So a naked time virus, right?
Did you call her Uno?
Do you want to play a game of Uno?
Wait, it's not Uno?
Una.
What did I say?
Uno.
Uno.
Who the hell is Una?
Oh my God. Just take us home.
Wait, so is this a naked time virus? Yes or no?
No.
All right. Why are you yelling at me?
I hope it's not. I really hope it's not.
Listen, if it's a naked time virus, I need you to add the sultry music behind again.
Oh my God. Well, we'll find out in 4 days. So.
Yeah, no, these episodes air on Thursday. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
All right, well, guys, as always, it's been fun. Sorry for being 3.5 hours late because we're supposed to record at 4.
Yeah, I'll roll with that.
All right, that's fine. All right. Good night, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Yet Another Star Trek podcast. We're a part of the Retro Sessions Network. This episode was recorded on May 15, 2022 by Brad, Drew, and myself, Majeed. Drew does the edits while Brad handles the episode synopsis. I take care of most of the artwork and graphics while additional artwork is provided by George Rattal. You can find him on Fiverr. We'll provide you links in the show notes. Our music, Warp Speed and To the Stars, is written and produced by William Grobelar Music. Check him out as well. He's on SoundCloud. His links will also be in the show notes. Would you like to interact with us on social media? We're about everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at Yet Another ST Podcast. If you also want to email us, you can do that too. You can reach us at yetanotherstpod@gmail.com. Please support the show by writing a review and rating us wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe. That's pretty important. Thanks again. Live long and prosper.